Since it's Ramadan, I thought, why not share how I found out that women cannot fast while they're on their periods? In Ramadan, Muslims fast from sunrise to sunset, no food, no water. Women, if they're on their periods, they don't have to participate, obviously, because, like, you know, y'all are going through a lot. You don't need this in your life, you know what I mean? But basically, when I was a kid, when I was like 12-ish, my mom was just like, listen, we need to introduce fasting into your life because next year you're probably going to have to start fasting. Because it's like you start fasting when you hit puberty. So I was just like, okay, it sounds good. She was just like, so you get to break your fast after you come home from school. And I was like, okay, sounds good. So in school, I would cheat. You know what I mean? I'd be drinking water. I'd be eating. Like, I'd be doing everything. So, like, but my mom obviously never knew. Sorry. But, you know, this one time on the weekend, I was just like at home, like, whatever. I had a secret water bottle that was under my bed, just in case, you know, if I got thirsty. I was playing GTA San Andreas all day. You know what I mean? Like, I remember. And I remember I wanted to take a sip, but my mom is infamous for never knocking the door. She just barges in. She's like, hey, Bebo. She uses my nickname. She goes, Bebo. And it's like, whatever, right? So there's one time I'm like sitting in bed, whatever, and I was just like, oh, damn, I'm really thirsty right now. So I was just like, I really need to go like drink water. But I hear my mom in the room next to me, and I was just like, bro, my mom is sneaky. She is like a cat. Like, she could just sneak up on you and you wouldn't even hear it. So I was just like, let me just like run into the kitchen, right? So I'm like, you know, for the sake of the story, I promise I'm fasting, you know, water. I'm like walking into the kitchen and I'm like, I put it up to my mouth and I'm about to take a sip, or I maybe was drinking water. I walk into the kitchen and I'm drinking my water, and my mom looks at me and she goes, Bebo? And I was like, what? I spit out my water. I was like, sorry. And then I was like, hold on. Why are you eating? And she just looks at me and she was like, what do you mean, why am I eating? Why are you drinking water? And I was just like, okay, I messed up. I acknowledge that. You know, I can take accountability, but why are you eating? And she's like, you know, like, women have a past sometimes. And I was like, what do you mean you have a past? Like, for what? And she was like, you know, every month, you know, a woman bleeds, you know, and you know, it's difficult. So it's just, and I was like, so I get nosebleeds all the time. And she's like, it's not the same. It's not the same. And I was like, okay, but like, what's the issue? And she's like, it hurts. I was like, my nose hurts after 2. And she was like, okay, but our bleeding is different. It's basically like we're giving birth. And I was like, you said that giving birth just comes out of your stomach. So what's the issue? Like, what, your stomach starts bleeding? Is it bleeding out of your belly button? She was like, Bibo, enough questions. Women bleed once a month. And while they're bleeding, it's like a week long. They don't fast, okay? And we have to make up for it later. And I was like, oh, you have to make up for it later? I was like, never mind. Ignore everything that I said. As a kid, I was like, why am I fasting for 4 weeks and you're doing 3? But